What did you guys think?
I thought it was brilliant. Again, I thought another great. I think it like expanded upon everything that I loved about the last episode, and just I think it's opened it up more and given us more questions, which I think they've done a great job of. Like even after last week when they answered a lot of the questions that we had, I think it's great that we now had even I feel like we've got even more questions. I mean, obviously the big reveal, but I think we'll get to that. But I think just the stuff alone without that reveal, I thought was a great episode.
Absolutely.
And there was enough stuff for us to sort of chew on.
It's really like cool to see this world that was so funny and so perfect like start to unravel and become sinister.
Yes, and I do like that now we've had the format break of an episode in the real world. We've not gotten rid of the sitcom stuff, and that stuff's still really important in terms of the ongoing kind of horror, like with the children. But then we're also flip-flopping between the two realities, and they're sort of like they're merging a lot more. Like it was really cool. Full spoilers, by the way. And I must stress that this week. Full spoilers, because we're going to talk about the spoiler at the end.
Yes.
And we're going to go into incredibly descriptive detail of the stories we all know. So please don't
Yeah, if you
complain
haven't
we spoiled
seen
this.
it, pause right now,
Yeah.
go and watch it, and come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if I don't put the spoiler warning, I might get riddled with some quicksilver. But yeah, I loved it. And what I particularly loved this week was seeing it all from Paul Bettany's perspective when his colleague, I can't remember his name, it's escaped me, he's like, when he unzaps him out of the reality and he's like, please I need to call my sister, like this is so terrifying.
Yeah.
And then it immediately goes back into the sitcom scenario. And I also loved how this week there were so many moments where like it was like shot like a sitcom, close up. Oh, we're back in reality now. Like we're in Vision's head, and he's thinking, "Oh, what the fuck is going on? Oh, we're back to the sitcom." And they did that at the end really well when the credits were rolling.
Yes, when they were arguing.
Yeah, and then they go into the next room, and it's like immediately gone. Also, I really, really loved like the first couple of weeks of watching this, we were talking about we want to see Paul Bettany like do more as an actor, like just show a bit more of his range as the Vision, which he's not gotten in the previous movies. In this one, we get to see him float up, angry, but also incredibly scared. And to see him say that, I think that's like the first time we've really gotten inside his head in quite such a way in the MCU. Because like even in Infinity War, which I really like, and he gets put under a lot of like conflict and stress, he's staying strong for Wanda, isn't he? Even towards the end, he's like, "Oh, I love you, don't worry." So it was actually really cool, I thought, this week to see him actually say like, "I'm really scared, like I have no idea what my life is, like this is mental."
Yeah. Imagine Wanda and Vision being your parents having an argument. That's terrifying.
When they both like rise up.
Mate. You're just like in the kitchen like...
It's like I've ignored the statistics for too long.
I love that they're both so immensely powerful. And I feel like we don't get that often in the MCU. It's a lot of like, oh, this guy can punch really hard and this girl can punch really hard. But like, these two are just on another level, aren't they?
Yeah. I found it quite unnerving this week. Like, a lot of things really unnerving.
Really sinister.
Like, especially when like the kids just grew up. Like, there was just things like that where I was just like, oh, I don't like how much she has control of all these things, and like how these people are like, as soon as they're unleashed, like from her spell almost, they're like, oh my god, help me, I need to call people. Like that, there's something really deeply, like, because I just imagine like whilst they're being manipulated by her, that they're just literally inside just going, just get me out, like screaming, like almost. Like, the thought of that, I just think it's like horrific.
And I think the horror is coming out of the happiness, isn't it? It's coming out of the restraint of, oh, my kids have just aged and I've lost all these years of their development. But instead I'm like, oh, it's great, they're 10 now. Now I can do this thing that I want. Like, and it's really creepy to watch.
Do you think, I think I asked this last week as well, do you think the twins have their own autonomy, or do you think they are still controlled by her?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess the question that's hovering over this whole episode is like, how much power does she have? Because she's changing actual real objects, isn't she? I thought that was really cool the way they sort of deduced that and shot at Monica's old clothes.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know.
Well, I have a bit of a weird theory-esque thing, but don't put
too much in it. Is it theory-esque or is it a theory?
It's kind of a theory, but I'm not sure if I believe it. But I finally watched Spider-Man Far From Home, and he goes into like inside the illusion with like all the projectors and stuff. Oh yeah. And inside of it looks like the credits.
Hang on, I'm just mentally projecting a comment now. I can't believe you spoiled Far From Home for me, even though it's 2 years old. Sorry, continue.
Look, your video spoiled Far From Home from me, so like I watched the whole thing knowing like what was going to happen and stuff from watching your YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
Which you can find on the Full Fat Videos YouTube channel, by the way.
Thank you, baby. Roger.
Roger. So yes, and the inside of the illusion, like the way it's like set out and all the pixels, really looks like the credits where it's all like red and blue, like pixely
Yes,
squares.
it does look similar. I wonder if that's a red herring. It would be cool if you think this whole time it's Wanda and it's all mystical, and then it turns out, oh no, someone's actually manipulating her with technology. That would be cool.
Jake Gyllenhaal cameo? Anyone?
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal should be fighting all of the Avengers.
Yeah,
He is
bring
an
back
Avengers level
Mysterio.
threat, isn't
Yes,
he?
Not Mysterio.
No,
Just
just
Jake
Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah. Oh my god, the guy controlling the illusion was actor and entertainer Jake Gyllenhaal. That's Mr. Music.
I'm making music.
Now I'm Mr. Sitcom.
Terrifying.
There is like an element to the sitcom stuff that kind of feels, especially now after having revealed that Wanda's sort of controlling them. Like there's a bit like reminds me a bit of. Do you know what the Joker has? Like those like laughing. Do you know like when they're makes people laugh hysterically kind of thing? Like they're in control. Like that kind of.
Like in the Burton in the animated series.
Yes.
That stuff, yeah.
And like
exactly.
the laugh tracks, like even when something was up, the laugh tracks were still going, and that was really creepy. That was weird.
Yeah. This is your final warning, all right? Clear the podcast if you have not seen this episode, because you're not going to want to see this spoiled. Quicksilver's back, baby, but not just any old Quicksilver. The Evan Peters Quicksilver is back. I can't believe it.
It's insane.
Well, of course I can believe it because there's been some leaks, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's a real shame that got kind of leaked online or spoiled because.
I bet Kevin Feige cocked his shotgun the minute he saw that was leaked. Like, who have I got her?
Yes.
Silence.
So just to clarify that, do you think that is what Elizabeth Olsen was talking about when she said the Luke Skywalker reveal?
I think so.
I think so too.
Really?
But
Because I don't think Quicksilver's
Luke Skywalker.
that
baby,
big.
but baby,
He's-
like it's not that it's
Going
Quicksilver the
from
character. It's that it's from a different universe
yes,
entirely.
no, which is like insane, like absolutely mental. I wonder how they're gonna spin it next week. And like when they were like, oh, they've recast him, which was really strange.
It's interesting they pointed that out, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
do you think it's what we're going with is in the MCU he's recast Quicksilver, or do you think that's the current theory from because it wasn't confirmed, it was just what was it Darcy or Jimmy Woo said it? Do you know what I mean? It was someone watching,
Yes.
wasn't it? Or it might have been
Yes.
Monica. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like confirmed. So, do you think it's going to be actually the exact Quicksilver from Days of Future Past? Do you think it's the same one? Oh my god!
Okay. Do you
no,
need
I'm not
a
okay.
minute? Should we take a pause?
No. You need to hear my unfiltered
Yes.
excitement. I knew Deadpool was going to come into the MCU.
Yes.
But I never in a million years would have thought anything else from that universe.
Yes.
But it turns out Quicksilver is so fast he outran the merger. He outran the merger, the Disney Fox merger. Just as the universe was collapsing in on itself, he just zoomed out.
come in.
And now he's here to stay. Hopefully. I would much rather that was the MCU Quicksilver.
Yeah, I would 100%. Like, I think obviously like he's the best stuff in the later X-Men movies as well. And I mean, just the thought that, like you said, that he is the same Quicksilver is cool because, there is more possibilities to bring more of those Fox X-Men back into the fold. And, how I feel about there being a possibility that Mr. Fassbender's Magneto could return.
Yeah, because when the merger happened, I did kind of think, I love the McAvoy and the Fassbender iterations, but I'm happy for it to all start fresh.
Yes.
And I was excited by that. But seeing all this happen, it's like, they can just pick and choose. And also, like, Fassbender and McAvoy, they're perfectly cast.
Perfect.
Just keep it going. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we all know that the X-Men Fox universe is slightly different to the MCU, but you can fold it all in and it doesn't matter. You can explain it away with multiverse bullshit.
Yes.
We're willing to accept that to get something as awesome as Evan Peters Quicksilver into the
100%.
MCU. And no offense to Mr. Kickass, Mr. Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's a fantastic actor, as seen in Tenet most recently.
Yes.
But in terms of just Quicksilver, I can take it or leave it. Whereas the Evan Peters Quicksilver, consistently he's the best thing in a bad movie. He's the best thing in Apocalypse, isn't he? That
100%.
sequence is awesome. And it was such a shame that in Dark Phoenix he gets written out at the start with like a broken leg, and that was a real shame to me because when you're watching Dark Phoenix, you're like, this is the final Foxmen movie, and he's utterly wasted. Whereas now, who knows what's going to
They
happen?
A-trained him?
They do A-train him, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's just weird because, like, especially because, you know, in the last 2 X-Men movies before Phoenix, like, I feel like he had, like, the best sequences, pretty much. Like, some of the best sequences.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I think that was what everyone was talking about after those movies come out. Do you know what I mean? So it was weird to see that, like you said, him be a bit more shunned in the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Part of,
But I think it's like problem of like, well, we've got the Dark Phoenix here, and she's like all powerful, and then we've got this guy that can like slow down time to a crawl. Let's just write him out. But it's so lazy, isn't it?
He's a difficult person to write, I imagine. But yeah, that is lazy.
The difference for me is like the Foxmen, give him a broken leg, write him out because it's too difficult. The MCU would have done, what's a Quicksilver Dark Phoenix fight like? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do they actually do? Like, because Feige he knows what we want, doesn't he?
He knows,
he brings the filth.